All right. We are back yet again with another edition of the Media Show with Professor Beth Egan. I am your co host, Craig Pavia from beautiful Jersey City, New Jersey. Wanted to start this off, Beth. I know you noticed my t shirt, and
I
it's my
did.
favorite t shirt that I've bought in many moons. What I want to talk about is midlife crisis because this is not an image of me, as some people have said. Like somebody actually walked up to me one day and said, "Is that your own T-shirt?" Because I have the white beard, and if you see the white beard here, no, that's actually Bill Murray in a movie called Life Aquatic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I first saw that movie, I was in my late 20s, and I didn't quite understand it. Right? It was like, that movie's kind of boring. I revisited it when I turned about 50, and now I'm obsessed with it because when you're 50, you really understand what this movie about midlife crisis is all about. And
I gotta
why I
watch it
bring
now.
yeah, and why I bring this up, particularly male dominated midlife crisis, but you'll enjoy it either way. It's good. Why I bring this up is because, and why I wore my midlife crisis t-shirt is our topic today is YouTube. And I'm wondering if YouTube is going through a midlife crisis.
Hmm.
And why I bring that up, right, is not only that you and I are doggedly covering both um, antitrust lawsuits with the parent company, or well, not the parent company, but the main mothership of Google. However, I know it's all alphabet, but inside the family. And there's some existential threats, right? Like I've heard some people say, well, let's peel, even go as far as they peel YouTube away from it, knowing that it's the
Mm-hmm.
second biggest component of search. Um, but I've noticed, and viewers have noticed, this is a hot Reddit topic. If you are a media nerd like me, and somebody has done the mathematics on this, not me, but YouTube advertising year over year. So from last, I think that this was done June 1st to whatever the May 30th of this year, was up over 47% per video. So you
Wow.
were getting, let's say, two ads in a 10-minute video, one firm and one breakable, meaning you could skip. Now you're getting four, sometimes six in that 10 minutes. And why I bring this up is, are we seeing YouTube, and keep in mind, knowing that YouTube is, of course, got YouTube TV, and they're kind of wanting you to subscribe. And, that is actually their CTV platform. They've got local television stations on there. Is YouTube going through midlife crisis, Professor Beth? And what do we need to expect? And is there competition on the rise?
Yeah, I think, I have not done the numbers either, nor will I. So I'll rely on whoever crunched it for Reddit. I could just say anecdotally on two counts. One of the favorite things my husband and I do at night, there might be some wine involved, is just kick back and watch YouTube music videos and just kind of see what the algorithm is feeding us and changing it. And yeah, it's gotten to the point where, we used to be able to sit through 4 or 5, let's say, videos and enjoy them. And now the ads just come at you. And every time I just say, you're not going to break me. You are not going to break me. I'm not paying for premium. And on the other side of it is I rely a lot in my classroom on YouTube videos, whether it's just pure commercials posted or case studies or what have you. And it's getting to the point where I almost have to walk away from that. I mean, teaching advertising, it's kind of funny. It's like, oh, the damn ads. But it's becoming harder and harder to enjoy it. And, we were just talking on an earlier podcast about how in the early days of Google search and their shift to pay per click PPC advertising, that was truly a win-win for the advertisers and Google, and I would argue for consumers as well. Um, but I don't think with YouTube it has the same value proposition. And I find it very odd that they're choosing this moment in time to ratchet that up. I don't know whether it's concerns over their search business, whether that's to do with the antitrust suits or the growth of AI searches. But when we're in a world where, look, even the average person, I'm sure you have it too, someone who has no affiliation to media or the advertising industry or marketing at all, is recognizing the fact that they're paying more for all these streaming services than they ever paid for cable before.
Yeah,
um
right.
I think, it's going to be interesting. It's either going to lead to a mass consolidation, and Disney just announced that they're just going to fold Hulu into Disney Plus.
Well, that was
We're
my
either going
next
to,
question. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
we're,
this is a consolidation question coming because
yeah,
I watch I watch broadcast TV through one of YouTube's competitors at YouTube TV. So we have to make sure. I don't know if everybody who's watching our podcast, thank you all 75 of you, if they're if they understand the difference between YouTube TV, and the like. But before we get into that, I want to just go back to the music question because
mhm.
I didn't know. I thought I was the only one who did this type of thing. So I get wrapped up in my music videos on there, and I'm always amazed. But are you saying that are they cutting the song, or is it the song is still playing in its entirety, and then they're running the ad at the end? Or they, in other words, like, because I see it like if I'm watching a cooking show, all right, I can live with a with an ad break. What I
Yeah.
don't understand is if I was watching a music video and I'm in the middle of Sue Studio, and all of a sudden I get an ad break. What's the story, Beth?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question that I can't answer with complete factual certainty. Um, but
But you notice the ads. You
I would,
notice more ads.
yeah, but I'm not sure that they wouldn't cut like an American Pie.
Mm, I think this is a perfect test. I'm gonna do this for us. I'm gonna post this as a short. Absolutely done deal tonight. I will also grab an adult beverage, and I will play. I will find American Pie, or maybe something else. Something in the Led Zeppelin genre.
Inagata
Maybe
Davida.
yeah, something 9 minutes or longer, and I'll pull that open. What I also wanted to say about YouTube is interesting, and again, this could going back to what you were saying earlier. I am wondering whether or not they're reacting right to the fact that, and I don't know if you've been on Netflix. I don't think. Do you pay for Netflix fully, or do you have the ad supported model? There's a lot of ads there.
I pay
There were,
fully. I don't.
yeah, there are a tremendous amount of ads running on Peacock for my programming. So there must be an enormous amount of demand. And then they are really, I do notice the reactivate your YouTube TV
Mm-hmm.
banner in the lower left is a constant now. It was
Hmm.
seemingly more like once or twice every month or so. Now I'm getting it almost religiously per session. And I am using YouTube TV. I watch YouTube TV a lot. A lot of my base watching is there.
Hmm. Um, yeah, I mean, I think they're trying to get into the subscription model. And I just think that it's going to increasingly become a harder proposition to say the $8 a month is worth it if you're going to see a traditional network television load of commercials. Early
Yeah,
on, we
I'm
were willing to
right.
accept it because it was like, I'll sit through a couple. I'm happy to get the $4 off a month or whatever it is. But yeah, I agree that the commercial load is increasing, the price is increasing, and the younger generation aren't watching long form programming anyway.
It's a conundrum, isn't it? It's because the
Hmm.
only reason why I'm in the YouTube TV competitor Fubo, right, is because my beloved New York Knicks.
Hmm.
And I even had sacrificed my New York Yankee coverage because I have a separate subscription to Sirius Satellite Radio. But now Fubo has Yankee games as well. So sports and sports keep me in my Fubo, and I live with the classic broadcast television advertising there. Why I bring up Peacock is because Peacock, if I just put on reruns of The Office to fill the hours between, the end of dinner and going to bed, and I want to do some laughing, I'm getting a lot of advertising there. I'm getting a lot, and I could do that. I mean, I can't watch that on YouTube TV, but they have their own slate of programming and stuff like that. So it's an interesting thing, and I'm wondering if this is the midlife crisis of YouTube because of what we mentioned earlier, the both antitrust cases and the beefing up of the importance of YouTube, or is YouTube just a behemoth and they can kind of, it's probably a combination of both. They can do what they want. They've captured the audience. They're bigger than anybody else in the video viewing space by a substantial amount. That I will tell you.
I think they've been able to do whatever they wanted, and I think that plays into your midlife crisis. Is they're kind of continuing their old behavior, but like I was saying, I was up in the Adirondacks with some friends over the weekend. Their 25-year-old son, who lives in Boston, is a Red Sox fan. Sorry, I don't always choose friends wisely.
Okay.
But he was ranting about you can't even be a sports fan anymore because you're chasing the games on Apple TV. You know more than I do, but
Yeah,
you
that's
you
true.
can't
You have,
even
yeah.
just buy one thing and follow a team anymore. And I just, having come from the side of the world that funded all of this, I honestly don't understand what they're doing. These are fans. These are loyal people who will sit. They'll take the commercials. They'll accept the
Well,
fact that the advertising.
somebody has to pay and ready for this, is a factual number. Juan Soto, the latest acquisition of the New York Mets, is earning $315,000 a game. So when you got that high a price, you're going to have to up the advertising. You're going to have, the rights are costing more. These athletes are, and then they're getting their value. I mean, he's worth every penny if there's somebody willing to pay him. He's an incredible baseball player, but someone's got to pay the freight. And if we're not all going to Shea Stadium, we're not all going to go to, out to Queens and spend $1,000 a
City
ticket,
Field.
right?
Come on.
Yeah, City Field. Shea, it's still Shea to me. I'm sorry.
It is
I'm a
definitely not
Citibank guy,
Shea.
but I'm just saying it's just Shea Stadium to me.
Well, and this
Right.
is going to be blasphemous for me to say to my Newhouse colleagues, but I saw an article the other day about, what jobs are really threatened by AI. And it's writing and producing, and we've talked about that on
Yeah.
this podcast as well. But on the top 10 list was sports announcers, play-by-play people. There
Wow.
Who needs that when you've got AI that can feed in all the stats? You just put sensors on the players, so you know what the players are doing, what's going on. You can pull up the stats faster than the average announcer can. And
Can we make an AI version of Walt Clyde Frazier? Because I fear if I don't have Walt Clyde, I might no longer be a fan of the Knicks. Although
but
I love him so much.
exactly,
Yeah.
but exactly, you can. You don't need the
Yeah.
guy anymore. I mean, obviously, he would have to sign off on his likeness and probably get paid a lot of money to do that, but you can. All you need is permission to their previous broadcasts, and now you're just mimicking them. So these sports teams need to save money. They're going to invest in the players, get rid of the high-priced announcers.
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little late night TV with Professor Egan.